Hello, people. Welcome to another stream. It took me a little bit to get things set up correctly this week. There were some... OBS decided to forget a few things related to the camera and audio setup, so it took me a little bit more finagling than I was used to this week. But I think we are good to go. My hair aside, which is due for a cut. That's coming up soon. Getting haircut and new glasses very soon. You won't even recognize me. Let's see how things are going. Checking my stream stats. Bitrate seems good. Fingers crossed. I did a little finagling with the router backend that I had at my house to see if I could prioritize computer traffic a little more easily. So we'll see how that goes this week. But it has been a fun and exciting week in the world of keyboards. I even put together a little agenda because there's been some fun stuff going on. Probably one of the most exciting things for me is my friend Horatio's new Keycaps set launched today on the Key Machine, which is very exciting. That is kind of a side venture of Novel Keys, which is like these big in-stock drops of stuff. They've done mostly keycap sets up to this point. They've also done a keyboard. The previous release, the 004, was a keyboard. A extended 2048 themed key cult. And then once whatever run of that is out, then they move on to whatever the next release is. And this is a really cool GMK keycap set by O-Type, who's also the designer of like Tribal, if you're familiar with GMK Tribal. But yeah, so this is like in stock now. You can order it and it will, like mine's already shipped. I ordered mine this morning and it's already shipped out, which is pretty cool. And I know, yes, it is $185, but this is the kit. So this is like, that's not at all a bad price if you're considering that this would be the cost of like a base kit plus all of these novelties. Like, I can't zoom in more than that apparently. But like this whole thing is so rad. And they have like a little legend down here too. Like you can see that like single color stuff has been double shot. Multicolor stuff has been UV printed. So like the tab, the caps lock and all that over here have been UV printed. And the alphas are a combination of double shot and UV printed sub legends. And that's just so cool. Like, simple geometric stuff is kind of what, like it's near and dear to my heart as an icon designer, even if this is, as the name implies, abstract and not representational of something, which is usually what you're going for in iconography. But just that communication of simple geometric form and the use of color, it's so warm and inviting. Like it feels very mid-century in that way. Like it feels like something that Charles and Ray Eames would have worked on in a way, which is really cool. So, I mean, I should throw the link in here, but can I dismiss that? Yeah. Apparently there'll be an ad coming in, but Tyler, welcome. And Elden Ring pot person to you as well. We're just chatting about the new Key Machine set that went live this morning from O-Type, aka Horatio, who I also learned this morning will also be at the keyboard meetup, the Novel Keys keyboard meetup. So I'll get to see him again. I have gotten to meet him before at Figma's conference, Config, in San Francisco. Where he has given me sneak peeks of key sets before on the sly. So it'll be nice to see him again. I am going, yeah. I will be there. There were a bunch of us actually chatting about it on the Novel Keys stream earlier today. It's in West Virginia. Whatever the name of the town where Novel Keys is. I can't remember it right offhand, which I should. Let me look. But that'll be the second week of October? No. Third week of October. Morgantown, West Virginia. Hello. Welcome. This is Tobias, right? I think, am I recognizing the name correctly? Excellent. An excellent developer, an A+ guy. Also responsible for helping bring Phosphor icons into the world. Excellent. How am I doing? What you doing today? I'm doing really well. We're talking about a little bit of keyboard news at the moment, and then I'll get into rebuilding a keyboard very shortly. But anyway, yeah, GMK Abstract went live today. Seems to be fairly popular. Hard to know. We don't really get insight as much into the sales numbers on these. But I'm actually, since they are in stock and they ship out right away, I am going to use it next week on next week's stream. I have a plan because I love the way these colors are and the kind of creamy beige. I think it would actually work really well on the Class 413, and I have the yellow inner frame, and I think that would actually look really good. So that's going to be my plan. Maybe with the NK Classic Blues, because I've got enough of them for that board. So we'll see. These keycaps are so Figma coded. There is definitely some similarity in Figma's recent design language and a lot of the stuff they use for config. It's very true. And I'm sure they would love to think that they have a lock on simple geometric forms. But anyway, it's very cool. What other keycap news we got going on? There we go. GMK Windbreaker is apparently going to be coming sometime next month, according to Jay over at Prototypist. He was mentioning that in the stream. Mike kind of echoed that on the Novel Key stream earlier today, which was very cool. Jay's kind of spearheading it, trying to get a GMK CYL version of Windbreaker. Yeah, but a GMK CYL version of it is going to be run very soon, apparently, which is exciting. I would love to get the actual DCS version of it as well, because I've been getting more and more interested in DCS. This music's a little too rambunctious for me right now. But yeah, so that's interesting. GMK Mutagen is going to be running very soon. In like 3 days. GMK Mutagen is going to go up, and Riley's been just going to town with all these mock-ups and stuff, which is just wild, some of the stuff they're doing. Especially the collab they did with Cosmodernism for the desk pad, which is an actual photo, which blows my mind. Like it's using, like it's macro and microscopic photography using magnets and ferrofluid and all this kind of stuff, which is what this guy does. I don't think I would buy it, but I respect the hell out of it, and I think it's really cool. But it's way too busy for my desk. But just all this stuff coming up. I love the novelties. The plastic blend they've got going is a little grungier than it was originally touted to be, I feel like. So we'll see if I actually go for it, but I do like it. What was the other keycap like this that looks straight out of existence. Oh, there have been a few I feel like that have this kind of vibe. You like the novelties, don't love the set. I have some feelings similar to that. Like if it weren't so dirty, I might be more inclined to go for it, but I definitely respect what they're trying to go for on this one. And it does glow in the dark, so it feels like a shoe-in to go with the classic TKL. That's also slime green and glows in the dark. Do kind of wonder if you could mix this with Symbiote. Ooh, I mean, that's a good idea, because it is using, like, it has that same... I mean, there's a similarity of theme, of course, of kind of some, an outbreak. There's a hazard, some things break in containment. And, of course, the translucency, seeing the double shot under lattice work and all that kind of stuff. That's actually a really good idea. That could be kind of cool to mix the two. At least the pink membrane novelties might look cool with the yellow. Yeah. Well, maybe now I have to get it just to try that. I don't know what board I would put that on, though. It'd have to be something more neutral, I guess. A black or a gray or a silver or something, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, very cool. Symbiote is goated. Yeah. Oh, Symbiote is the one you were thinking of. Okay, I get you. Yeah, I have that that on another board over there right now. Tyler already knows this because we chatted about it very briefly, but KeyCon 2026 is going to be in Chicago, which is more recent news, which I'm excited about as well. It'll probably supplant the Windy City keyboard meetup they mentioned, because they're going to help organize it and everything, of course. So depending on when it happens, I might be able to go, which would be super awesome, because I wasn't able to go to the last 2 years of the Windy City Keep meetup. So hopefully, if it's sometime in the spring when it's not during a work trip in April, then I could go, which would be super, super exciting. And you've still never been to a meetup. We will be in October, right? Sort of. It's hard to call it a meetup because it'll just be like me. And I guess if you want to bring a couple boards, that would be great too. But hard to classify it as a meetup. Hope I can go because my ass doesn't have any key. I hope we can. Yeah, I would love to go. I really, really want to go. So we'll see how that works out with the timing when that comes. Be there in October for sure. Speaking of which, maybe if Frederick shows up, I will show these off again. But Yuzu came through. I have no idea if these would be affected by tariffs or anything, but these got me in just under the wire before the tariff situation changed again. I'm new to the hobby. I have a Novel Keys Classic TKL and a Canon Keys Ortho 48, which I soldered. Hey, that's more than a lot of other people new to the hobby have done, I would say. That's really cool. I hate the keycaps I have. What keycaps do you have? I'm curious. I know ortho stuff can be tricky because, I mean, it's all preference, but, trying to find something that supports an ortho layout, and I know some ortho folks prefer uniform profile for the flexibility that it offers, but let me know sometime what you were thinking as far as what I could bring, because I have a lot of potential options. I mean, if you want to bring your F1, that would be rad. For sure. I don't know what all you got. But, I mean, it's really whatever your favorites are. You can probably bring as many as you want. We can break, speaking of breaking containment, we can go outside of the conference room that we'll have at the factory. But you have some Amazon purple and gray ABS set. Okay. Is it like, if it's ABS, is it double shot, or is it like dye-sublimated? I'm curious. What a primary keyboard. Oh, hello! Hello and welcome. It's so nice to see you here. It must be, what is it, already 5 hours ahead, Tatiana? Is that right? Something like that? Nice PBT bonkers, which is awesome, but not enough keys for a TKL. I don't know. Nice PBT bonkers, I think. I'm not as up on PBT stuff. 5 hours, I thought so. Well, I appreciate you being here. I know it's late. And it's Dysub. Playing video games and saw I was live. What are you playing? I'm very tempted to stream Silksong when it comes out on Thursday. I will just need to determine how to attach my Switch into this rig and make it function. How are things? Things are as good as they can be, I would say. We just had my kiddo just turned 6, which is incredible, this past weekend. It does make me feel like every time I actually like think about it, I like crumble into dust a little bit. Just like the weight of existence a little bit in a good way. It's not like totally bad, but it's like whew, the time is rocketing past. Dave the Diver. I've heard nothing but good things about Dave the Diver, and I think I even have it on Steam. And I have not picked it up yet. My Steam backlog is ridiculous at this point. Did you buy Bonkers secondhand? The base kit is massive. It should absolutely fit a TKL. Well, now I gotta look at nice PBT Bonkers. So we can get an idea here. Nice PBT Bonkers. Ah, Canon keys. That is Bonkers. Although I have enjoyed kind of these color vomity kind of sets. Yeah, so there's the base, as Tyler mentioned, and that does absolutely fit a TKL. And it's not like child kits or anything, like it's an all-in-one type deal. Watching your kid grow up is doing the same thing to me if it makes you feel better. Oh. Well, that's good. I'm glad we can share in that. Missing the mod key. Ah, no mod keys. That sucks. I'm sorry, dude. Well, for what it's worth, it's still in stock for $85. Canon keys, which I know is a little, for, might maybe too steep, but, and you also don't want to pay that much for the few keys that you're missing, but that's the fun thing about this set, though, is you could always just replace them with something else, and it could feel intentional with a different PBT set, since it is kind of all over the place anyway. Like, somebody spilled a bunch of ice cream on the floor. Yeah. Anyway, interesting. Better get back to gaming. I'll be back when you stream again. It'd be good to see your face. Thanks you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Have fun with Dave the Diver. Anyway, I'm going to get back to this. So yeah, speaking of the... Well, it looks a little more yellowy on camera. That's more true. For our event in October here in Grand Rapids, attendees will get one of these little guys. This is the truncated logo for the co-working space for the factory. And I got, just put through these together really quick on Yuzu. You can do a bunch of one-off artisans. I got them dye sublimated in kind of a factory-ish green, just on white, just a simple thing. Since most attendees probably will not have a mechanical keyboard anyway, but this could be a nice little start to their collection or a hobby, or just a nice little memento if they want to. So yeah, I only got 50. I do not suspect more than 50 people will show up, based on last time at least. But yeah, everybody will get one. I might make there a requirement to, like, if you want one of these, then you have to put your name in the raffle for the classic DKL we're going to put together, which should be here by the end of the week. I did I took advantage of the Labor Day sale that Novel Keys was having and got one of their classic TKL bundles. So we'll have keycaps, stabilizers, switches. That'll just come with it. And then we'll all build it and somebody will go home with it. I will feel bad if I would. Well, then you don't have to put your name in. You can still have a keycap if you want to. And sometimes, well, we had I guess he must have been 6 at the time. We had a child of one of our co-working members who was there and helped build it and everything. And some people put his name in multiple times so that he would win, which was very sweet. So you could always donate your name to somebody else or something if you want to. I'll put your name in if I win. He'll double give it away. Okay. All right. That's tough but fair. So that's cool. Excited for those. Also got a ton of other stuff in the same package for my Playdate keycap project. I went ahead and got every yellow and purple they have because I had tried to eyeball it on the screen and I was like, this is not going to cut it. Just doing these one at a time, considering the shipping cost and how long it takes these to show up. So I got, and some extra grays just to be sure. So at some point in the future, we can do another fun little color matching session. And we'll, play around with the Pixel Space Capsule and the Playdate. And we'll nail down something a little closer to what we get. So surprisingly affordable to just get all the purples and yellows they had. Some people I've seen on the Yuzu Discord have actually bought every single sample and then will provide like higher quality photos in different lighting and stuff sometimes. But you can't beat having it in person. Which is something I've considered as well now that I've learned that from Signature Plastics' website, you can buy entire plastic colored chip rings from them directly of their colors. And I'm like, ooh, do I want that? Maybe. Because I do have a couple keycap sets in mind that I would love to do as larger run, like actual double shot stuff. SP, yeah, they do DCS. So they do SA, DSS, DSA, DCS, and like G20, like a couple of the really weird kind of flat ones too. Like, well, weird in that it's more unconventional, but they've did one set. Let me see if I'll pull it up. Since I've been rewatching, I rewatched the Alien movies recently to get ready for Alien Earth, which I am enjoying. And they made a keycap set based off of the iconographic pictorial language from the original Alien movie. This G20 semiotic. And it's all like the symbols that are like in the hallways and on the doors and like that whole visual language that was developed for the Nostromo. And it's like, but it's also this interesting uniform profile that like is like chiclets or something. Yeah, 140. Which seems a little odd for like I assume it's dye-subbed and uniform profile. Yeah, but it's very interesting to me. I don't want to buy it, but the fact that somebody went through and actually like recreated all of the symbols from Alien, it's very interesting to me. Anyway, so yeah, so they've got some other interesting profiles that I don't see much, but interesting stuff. But now we've been gabbing for like a half hour at this point. We should probably get into some keyboards. Actually building something, but this is what I get for building an agenda. Oh, and also, I know Frederick's not here, but we are going to end up, I chatted with him last week, and we are going to build the petrichor for him. At some point. We got to pick some keycaps first, but he wants it to be quiet as possible. So we may foam it up. I'm going to do some silent Sakuras probably, which I've got some more on the way, but it's going to be fun. Time and date to TBD, I don't know. But let's get into the Piggy, which is a legend in the hobby, I feel like, and it is a chunker. I got one of the last A-stock extras, I feel like, when they did a rerun of these. Because now you can't get them anymore. I feel like, unless you want to, aftermarket, of course, but it is a chunker. I was able to get the feet off with no fuss, which was good. Didn't have to use a heat gun. So we can get into the screws and everything. And this has been chilling for a bit with SA Tatooine on it, which I feel like is also kind of a shoe-in, because it kind of works on this giant mound of sand kind of vibe. But it's still got a weird mishmash of stabs in it. I think this is a Duroc, and these are TX. It's got the old Gucci Aphelion melodies in it. So we're going to take these out and clean them up and try some different stuff. This is what I'm considering doing for this one, since I have this available. And we'll see how it goes. So first I got to get all this old gunk out of here. Old switches. What do you think I've got? My little tin. I had 270 of these switches. Most of them are okay, but sometimes they do get real gushy. Actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and pull these out now. Curious about L'Orange, haven't tried them. I haven't either. I just got them. I also need to order some Type R's on your recommendation as well. That's the next. When I have Switch money again, that is next on my list to try out. And with this as well, we've also got the latest. Jackie did a new run of PCBs for this back in like February or March. And so I also have the 3rd revision PCB that I want to put in here. And it also comes with a plate, because the build of it was slightly different and required a new plate. So he threw in a PC plate with all of them, which was very nice. Thinking if I go through with the Amber Cloud 9, I might finally try the MX28 oranges. That would be a good fit. Yeah, I'm really hoping they don't run the Cloud 9 until October, so I can actually have a budget refresh. Because I do want to get my Mets on a Cloud 9. Actually, I wonder if I should take this out from the bottom first, because otherwise this is just going to kind of fall apart, because there's no standoffs or anything in the Piggy. There's a little bit of foot residue stuck there, but that's okay. Fully cherry-pilled at this point, which feels kind of sad, but it is what it is. There's nothing sad about knowing what you like. There have been a few cherries I've really enjoyed. Wanted the Lily R2 so bad, but simply too much money. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Was the Lily one that was also being offered with an EC kit? Because that's something I want to get into. 600 is crazy. Yeah. If they offer an EC kit with Cloud 9. EC's even more, oh gosh. I want to try to start dipping my toes into EC. And Dynacap and that kind of stuff seems like the way to do it. To me, it sounds appealing. Although I could always just get a straight up HHKB or Real Force or some other Topper thing and experiment with that, but me too, but it's never cheap. I'm kind of banging on Dynacap releasing an EC kit for the Bower Light at some point. I mean, that would make all the sense in the world if they did. Because I feel like, I mean, Dynacap and Omnitype are pretty tight, right? There we go. Oh yeah, that is attached to the mid piece. I forgot about that. Little tiny piece of foam down here. Let's see. Get those old hairs out of there. Give it a little dusting. Which would be ideal. I'm never 100% happy with the way that board sounds. I've never yet tried one. Hopefully when I actually go to a meetup, I will get a chance to. But I think this came with a new dollar board too. I don't think I would need to use it, but there we go. Just unplug that. Shocked this thing isn't force broken with all the contact. Yeah, I mean, it worked out. Granted, I built this originally before I knew that force breaking was a thing. But case ping was not an issue the first few times I built it, at least. But we'll see how it is today. I have some pads over there at the ready if I need them. But yeah, there is a lot of metal on metal contact. Because you got the mid frame and then you got the whole bottom. Fascinating how some boards just need it and some don't, despite all of them having contact usually. It's true. Tolerances, they're wild. That was an issue I had with the Synth 60 that I could never get rid of, even with force breaking. That it's hopefully something we can mediate when I do revisit that one. Which I had potentially on the docket for today, and then I just didn't want to. I thought about it and I was like, nah. Nah. There is also some gaskets like already going on here somewhat to isolate, which does help, like the side ones especially. I do have plate foam on this too. I wonder if I want to keep that or not. Let's put that up there for now. A lovely top case. This thing is just so, so monstrous. This is a weapon. I can't imagine like doing anything with the which one is it? The Hippo? Which one's the TKL version of this? Something like that. Hello, Ori. Welcome, welcome. We are rebuilding a Piggy. I'm trying to figure out where to put this thing, where it won't fall and destroy. Let's set it up here on the monitor shelf. Alright, now we will continue on with the switch removal. Although, I guess I wouldn't need to. I do have a brand new PCB and plate. I wouldn't have to take all these out. But if I do want to salvage the stabs and all, well, maybe I should just start fresh. Whoop. Bound to miss one. Maybe before we decide anything, we'll take a peep at the new PCB and see what has changed. So, there we go. Let's move the plate to the side for now. And then down here we got both a new daughter board, which I don't think I will need, but it's nice to have a backup. That is not faulty. Man, I really wish I could get my derivative built before the October meetup thing. That'd be pretty sweet. When is that? Is it something that is arriving sometime in the future? Or I don't actually know the timeline for the derivative. New plate. There is our new PCB. Piggy 60 V3 with vial support. Which means I could set up tap dance on this if I wanted to instead of mod taps. So let's see. What is... Oh, this is quite different. We have bottom row options. We can do a split left shift. Still got stepped caps. Does this support ISO? Full backspace and split. Huh. This does support ISO. ISO hot swap. What about the LED situation? A little bit rearranged to accommodate this cluster of hot swap sockets, but otherwise, JST is in about the same position. Wow, cool. I've had it for months, it's just solder on the... Oh, yeah. That I get. Although I have been watching a lot more folks soldering on streams, and I've been trying to like almost like watching somebody do surgery and like practicing movements along with it, like, you know, holding the thing, feeding in the line on the whole 9 yards, trying to get a feel for it as well. Why does it even have underglow? There was a PC, a PC Piggy, but I always turn that off because in the majority of the models, it makes no sense. But there is a PC one, and it is gorgeous. So that's really cool. There's also no more flex cuts. This had 2 big flex cuts. I think it's the same thickness. So it's still 1.6. Yep, still 1.6. But it's got a lot more layout options. That's really cool. I'll probably stick with the same layout. Although we could do ISO if we really wanted to. That might be kind of interesting. You know, let's get some fresh stabs. These are looking pretty gunky. I might stick with clip-ins. I think I've got some TX stabs over here that haven't been used. What do we got? We got, ooh. I think these might have some pink on them, which might be suitable for a piggy. No need for the plate foam now. So I guess we'll just set this one aside. Actually, let's look at the plate as well and see what's different. Why they needed to make a new plate. Well, I mean, to support ISO, I guess. Where's the old one? The old one had some options too. Ugh, come on. All right, new plate, old plate. Looks largely... Oh no, it's the... This cutout's different. Because you could do full width right shift if you want to. Interesting. Interesting. I think we'll largely keep the layout the same. I'll be boring. Make it the same. Yeah, so we'll stick with the 7U. On the bottom. Do a split right. Maybe try a split left. I don't know that I've ever done a split left before. Is that usually done with ISO? I'm not as familiar with a standard ISO layout. Let's see. What does this say? Oh yeah, I guess so. So like, unlocking the mystery of unusual keyboard layouts. Okay, not unusual for the people that use them all the day. So that is... So I'm more familiar with this area, like the area around the ISO key, but I guess is it customary to do a split left shift with ISO? And then a full right shift. That makes sense. As a poor typist, I'm very resistant to layout changes. I built the Ortho 48 and basically never used it. Could not get my fingers to figure it out. I've had the same issue with Ortho. I'm too used to staggered layouts. There was an Ortho I tried to use. I don't remember what it was now, but yeah, it took more adjustment than I was willing to give it. Ortho's rough. I refuse to go near it. It's beautiful. I get why people go for it, but yeah, it's just like, it takes a different brain than mine to want to fight through that learning curve. So if we do a split left, that would be another less stabilizer we'd have to do. So maybe let's do ISO. I really want to try that. So we could do a split left, ISO. Oh, I've still got this pulled up, right? And then do a split backspace as well. What do we think about that? Let's do a poll. I do polls for everything. And we'll do that. There you go. You can't do split backspace with ISO? Oh, I guess that's true. Or why can't you? Unless you want a 1U backspace. Oh, I see what you're saying. Because, yeah. Okay. I am following what you say now. What you say? Yeah, okay. Yes, that makes all the sense. But there is a poll if anyone has an opinion. Because it'd be interesting to try. Either way, we'll need some steps. So I'll get started on this. I always put a backspace on the pipe key. What I do is put the backspace. I don't know what you're used to. Ooh, gray and pink. Oh, this is a 6.25U set. So I would need to steal a wire from a different one. My last job gave me a MacBook, had a UK layout. Yeah, that is the same. It was the worst for a developer. No backtick or $ on the keyboard. Always forgetting the shortcuts. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, ISO is more standard UK layout. I might abstain. I feel like this is a you choice. But you win all the votes. Fine, we'll be boring. We'll be boring. We'll do, as Alex would say, regular schmegular 60. So we'll need the left shift, we'll need enter, and we'll need spacebar. A lovely 0-0 vote. That's totally fair. I'll need to dig around and find a 7U wire, though. I know I have some. The question is whether they are accessible or not. Can I use my tweezers to grab these out of here? Someone else had the chance to be king for a day. I didn't want to take it. Right, that's all I'll need. Enter, shift, spacebar. Yeah. All right, let me find a 7U wire. What does my other TX set have in it? That is also a 6.25. So, we'll dive into the tub of forgotten stabilizer parts. Run away. Everything tumbles out. Thought I made my opinion clear. For what it's worth, I agree with you. ISO is weird. What I did in my opinion is don't know if I'm trying it. I've only tried it on one. My pinkish purple Neo 70 is in ISO currently. Although I didn't do the ISO layout quite right. Alright, so here's some an old TX container that has a 7U wire in it. There we go. The island of misfit stabs over here where all the extra parts go. Big ass enter key, but bigger than ISO. That I agree with, having tried one. More regularly than an ISO enter. And I have my DCS one already for the Event Horizon. And I got my 1U row 4 blank blockers. Well, not blockers, but just the blanks as well, so I don't have to use the printed Windows keys for that DCS set either. Everyone likes a big ass, I guess. I mean, what's not to like? The bigger the donkey, the more it can carry. Never tried one, but they're what I wish ISO was. Well, now, I don't know if you've seen... I only saw it on Sneakbox's Instagram, I think. Some of the other weirdo keys they're looking at doing. Like, it's like a 15U spacebar, row 1 spacebars. A skinny ISO. You should... It's wild. They're cooking up some wild shit over there. That's a good use of that emote, Tyler. Fun fact, that was actually made for Verizon back in like 2017. I don't know if they ever used it, but I was subcontracted on a design job. And made some little characters and pixely stuff. I think enough time has passed, and I don't know if they ever used it. I don't know that the NDA applies anymore. And even if it does, I don't really give a shit. I don't know where you got this from, but I tried looking it up after your stream, and I couldn't find anything. Tried looking up what? Oh, the big ass enters. Yeah, they're at Sneakbox. They sell them for GMK, CYL, and for DCS in some stock plastic colors. Let's look it up. Ye old Sneakbox. Oh yeah, they also have Alice big ass enters now, which is cool. They got the clear big ass enter. They've got the Signature Plastics DCS ones in a bunch of plastics, the GMK ones. They're doing a lot of cool stuff too with all the DCS mini bars too, which is fun. So, yeah, they're all there. They're all for sale. Is this one DCS? What is this? No, it looks like CYL. Because there is a DCS clear set as well, but it's not this. Yeah. So I got a few. I've got a couple stock plastics. Well, I think we saw that when I built the Strata. But I've got WOB and L9, I think. And then I picked up just the black one for DCS, since I only have one DCS set currently. But hoping to... Well, I guess I have another one on order, but it's also black, so... it can rotate. I did end up getting in on Baja Nights, so... It's been interesting discovering some of these smaller... Like, I've been peeking into a lot of smaller Discords that are running, like, these tiny little DCS and DSS projects. And there's some interesting stuff going on that I was, like, completely oblivious to. You know, when I'm just paying attention to, like, the next big GMK group buy. Like, some very fervent DSS and DCS supporters out there. It's pretty cool. A fun little sub-niche in the hobby. I also think it's fun that like Signature Plastics was game to like do a lot of this weird stuff. You know, when they approached them, it was like, hey, could we make big ass enters in DCS, like create molds for it and everything? And they're like, okay. I think that's fun. Plus, depending on how the world economic situation progresses and everything, may end up needing to buy more homegrown keycap sets. So, we'll see. Yeah, that's wild. Truly is. I do appreciate the way that on their website, for most of their stuff, at least Signature Plastics is very modular in the way that they present and sell the keycaps, so that you only get what you need. Like you can just buy the TKL add-ons or the 60% add-ons or just the numpad or whatever. Like it's all child kits all the way down, which is an interesting way to do it. So I feel like that'd be a lot of extra SKUs to have to handle, but it's kind of nice to not have more keys than you need. Are the GMK ones legit GMK? They are legit GMK. I think I may still have one packaged up, actually. Yep, here we go. They are indeed legit GMK. Here is one right here. As you can see, if it focuses, come on, baby. Don't look at the keyboard. There it is. GMK. And there they are. So yeah, I got actually a white one too. Black and white and white and black. And then the DCS ones come in a fun little package like this. Sneakbox big ass enter. It's like a trading card. And they were made by Signature Plastics. So yeah, it's all legit. Gion was trying to do that with GMK. I don't think it panned out. Oh, he was trying to do the like a big ass enter with them, or a different weirdo type of key. Excuse me. Oh, the all child kids thing. Gotcha. I mean, it is. Yeah, I mean, I imagine it's a logistical nightmare to have all that extra. As I mentioned, like SKUs and everything for everything. And you would need extra space because everything is packaged in its own thing, and that takes up more space than being all together. But I don't know. I kind of like the way that Signature Plastics is doing it. Kind of dig it. Doing this, I've also got some Type Plus stabs on order, and I'm very interested to try those out soon. I might use those because they come with like a full-size kit. At least that's all that Novel Keys had available at the time. So I think I might try them out on Frederick's Petrichor. But they're very interesting because it's entirely paired like left and right, different molds for the different sides of the stabilizer. I'm interested to try it out. He did it for Evil Dolch. Mine just came in the mail today. About something they only had 6 going. I have one on deck. Yeah. Always good to have some stabs on deck. So that's why I was getting some of the Type Plus ones to kind of be some backups. At least until more night stabs come in at Bowl or whoever. Whoever gets them in first will have my business. I think Bowl has some on order, but it doesn't know when they'll come in. Oop, that one's a little too goopy. Get in there. Need to do a big haul. Yep. You think you have enough stabs, and then you start building a keyboard every week. And it's like, well, shoot. Didn't have quite the supplies I thought. Thankfully, stuff in some of the old builds can be rehabilitated most of the time. I think I need like 2 more sets for all the boards I have coming. I also want to rebuild a couple. Yeah. Get rid of all my stabies. They are cheeks. Have not tried stabies. I've really only ever used a handful of types. I've used TX, both screw in and clip in, and AP in different revisions. Ugh, can't talk. My mouth's dry now. I've used Duroc V2s a fair amount. I've used Knights. I tried using QMX. I didn't like them. That might be about it. No, I guess I've used Neo stabs when they've come with Neo boards. But other than that, haven't tried stupid stabs or stabies or anything like that. I thought they were so good at first. I built a few boards with them, but over time they get rattly. You can't fix them because of the tight tolerances. Oh, really? So you can't get in there at all with any lube? That sucks. Make sure these ones are seated all the way down. Also, they're incompatible with most keycaps that aren't GMK. Really? Like the stem is off by just enough to not be like more fully MX compatible? That does suck. Too many holes. All right, I'm gonna try to parse this out. Where's the enter key? I think here? I think so. Tolerances are so tight that if the measurements are off from what GMK does, they just don't move. Yeesh. All right, there we go. I think I got that correct. And then this will be like a west-facing switch for the enter. Here we go. Hands a little wipe. Make sure everybody is sitting flush. Seems to be. Although I really should have checked, which is something I haven't used TX stabs in so long. I really should have checked. I mean, they went in okay, so I'm guessing they were, but I didn't check the thickness. Because I keep forgetting, like, at some point I have had 1.2 mil TX stabs around because that was more common at one point. Sure, I can let the ads run. Go ahead, ads. Go for it. It's weird, some of my PBT sets are fine, others just got stuck completely. Oh wait, did my music stop? It did. I thought it seemed a little too quiet. Let's do something. Yeah, we'll do this. Our lovely PCB. And since this is soft, and no standoffs, and no foam, this time I will use the plate fork correctly. Here's our loranges, which I think will be a nice vibe with Kaiju. We won't have to worry about anything moving around too much though, because gats are so tight usually. Especially when you're used to building with HMX. These ones are just stock. I haven't gotten any hand lube stuff from Bowl. But they felt pretty good. Like better than other gats I've tried in terms of their stock quality. The stock lube. I did notice that with my stock milky yellows that they were pretty hit or miss. Well, the stock lube and their tactiles to be really good, and the linears I always redo. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't noticed when I've used like the Quins, which are I think the only GAT tactile I've used recently. Those were pretty good. Don't have any GAT linears besides the yellows and the fades, and I got the fades unlubed, so I'm sure some of them are fine. Alright, so I think I might work out my hand from here. Maybe I'll do a little bit over here first. Come on, buddy. Get in there. Here we go. I do want to get my hands on that bowl tool that functions the same as a plate fork, but pulls up the plate from inside. I think that might be a little more useful with my style sometimes. that sitting okay? Yep, I think so. There we go. They are tight, boy howdy. Might end up using this up top just to keep myself sane a little bit. These ones are real bent. Always check your pins, kids. Stepped caps, of course. Don't know why I didn't have stepped caps on this before. I think the old PCB supported it. Yeah, it did. Maybe SA Tatooine didn't, I don't remember. Do you know which boards you're going to bring in October? Have you not thought about it just yet? Do you mean to my event or to the Novel Keys event? To my event, most of them. To Novel Keys, I have a short list, which of course will be affected by whether the event horizon comes before then or not. My current list is... let me look at my note. I think it's in a travel note here. I'm thinking about the Duo 60 that we built here on stream. Considering my Font Awesome Sonnet with the keycaps we made on it. I think I want to bring that regardless because it's just Font Awesome top to bottom. It'd be really fun. Event Horizon, maybe. Considering my Typeface Universe But I don't need two things with Fun Awesome keycaps on it, so would need to rebuild that. Also considering the typeface monospace. But that's a bit of a bear to move. And depending on how next week's build goes, and how much I like it, I might try to shuttle the class 413, which, just thinking about it, is giving me anxiety trying to get that through an airport. But we'll see. Really hope it does the event horizon. Yeah. Yep. I do too, and I'm sure Max feels the same way and would like to have it in the rear view. Desperately need to see one of these things. Yeah. I want to show it off. I think it's rad. Yeah, the Novel Keys event will be the weekend before my event. So maybe I'll have some little extra bits and bobs or secrets or something. I don't know. Mike is going to be selling some of his boards at the meetup, which is interesting. So I may need to plan ahead and have a little extra luggage space, depending on what he's got going on. All right, how are we looking here? Looking straight. Don't see any bowing. Things are looking flush. Make sure all the edges are looking good. All right. Let's do... Maybe I should check these stabs first before we get too much further. So we get unopened Kaiju. This has been shrink wrapped for months. I might go a little TKL crazy or event because my most exciting boards lately are TKLs. Go for it. I probably will not be bringing very many TKLs, so please do. I'll have two. Well, I guess I'm thinking of normal TKLs. I'll have some Efroless TKLs because I'll have the Foundation, the Cycle 7, stuff like that. But if you want to bring some like actual legit TKLs, feel free. Let's jump ahead of the Kaiju. I've used Mecha Kaiju, but I have never opened this one of Kaiju Part 2. According to Bowl, my bias D should be arriving at his place this week. Oh, beautiful. Alright, Kaiju. Let's see what state you're in. Hey! That's not terrible. A little rumpled, but you know what? In this day and age, who isn't? No camera. No, not this time. That earlier pull went over so well. Didn't want to do another thing. I kid. And I've got a bunch of the novelties down there as well. So, let's grab ourselves some bits to test for now. May end up using a novelty enter. I think I can. I think I can do those. The predictions and all that? Yeah. I haven't tried one yet, but I'm pretty sure that's unlocked for me now. We'll do it next week with Abstract. How about that? Woo. I am looking a little shiny. pause this so I can hear what I'm doing. All right. Oh, geez, that pulled that switch completely apart. No, L'Orange. Look at that. Yikes. Yanked that sucker apart. Did not want to let go. See if I can get under this side of the housing. There we go. Jeez. Set you aside, friend. We'll deal with that later. That fresh GMK grip. It has just seen new life and it is not going to let go. Okay. See if the spacebar will fare better. Good. Okay, so let me remember how this works. So that sandwiches in from there, like so. Make sure everything is sitting nice and pretty. Ugh. Get this out of here. Go. Gaskets looking good. A little bit of wiggle. About the same amount of wiggle, lateral wiggle I remember from before. Let me change this again. Let's do some of this. Let's do some dungeon synth. Let's see how well that comes through. I think it's pretty quiet. Need to make a keyboard stream mix? That would be rad. I loved listening to that the other day. I'm glad you've been posting about it. It was excellent work music. I did. I thought I messaged you about it, but maybe I didn't. I thought I replied to one of your stories about it. But sometimes I write a reply, and I forget to hit send. Woo! Hello. Everything's grabbing on. There we go. Reattached to the mid frame at least. How are we looking on spacing? My show is so all over the place I get bored easily. Well, I think it's good. It's a wide range of stuff. I think if it was too, like, monotone, then listeners might get bored too. I think it's a nice reflection of your tastes. Okay. What am I doing? Let's do the JST cable. I'll just borrow that from the old one. How's the, has the bitrate been okay so far? I know we had some issues last time, so I was trying to do some network switches to make sure that things would actually function. Working on a Power Violence Grindcore collab episode with my roommate. I can't wait for Crickets to fall out of the crowd. I will listen. Bitrate's been good. Excellent. I haven't seen any warnings or anything. OBS does say that I've dropped 0.1% of my frames. But it's definitely not as bad as it was last time. I realized in the app for my router, my home network, I could set up certain profiles of types of internet activity that could be highlighted. So this is technically work from home. But it seems to be doing the trick. Tabbed out a couple times. Hey, very well. Thank you, first of all, for all that time, and I'm glad that it's been working. Glad to hear it. Okay, I think we are good to go to reattach the base, which I put down here. Excuse me. Had to look away to browse big ass enters. Listen, there's no judgment with big asses. What is Twitch yelling at me about on my phone? Don't you know I'm streaming? Oh, it's other people that I follow. Jenna Stieber's doing a game stream tonight. Speaking of people who used to work at Polygon, I saw that there are a few folks, former Polygon employees, who have just started their own worker-owned game publication, which is awesome, called Rogue. So I'll probably try to give them some money. Yep. I think it's rogue.site, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. Boop. So, yeah, they talk about some of that stuff a little bit in here. Where is it where they list the people involved? Go through their whole ethics policies and all that stuff, which is fantastic. Oh yeah, we got Alice and Cass, Jeffrey, Ryan, and Patrick and Clayton. I watched a lot of their stuff on Polygon, and then Toussaint as well, who I also follow on Blue Sky. But yeah, they're up and running. They got stuff going on here. So like they're doing guides and stuff too, which is pretty cool. So I love Pat. Pat's so good, and his partner is such a great artist too. I've followed them. It was actually interesting because I followed them both separately, and then I was like, wait, they're together? I thought that was rad. All right, Piggy. Oh, that's a little. I think it's a little detritus from feet adhesive residue. There it is. Let us put some caps on. Oh, that should have gone back with this bucket. And I also have. Ended up putting all of the normal Kaiju and Mecha Kaiju novelties all together, so we can separate some of that out. See if we want to do... Ooh, those oranges are very nice together. I didn't know how close they were going to be. This one's a little more desaturated, but it's tasty. Think about what sort of spacebar we want. Let me get out all these. So we don't need the macros. Might do some, let me just get them out of the way on the side so I don't keep getting them. I'll put the mechas over here. Colin, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome if you're watching. Mecha, mecha, mecha. I still want to do my, at some point, half mecha, half kaiju split board thing. But I might do that when Dark Kaiju comes out. We will see. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think it'd be fun to have like some kind of kaiju thing that's like, if it is like it seems flesh on top and then half of it's been stripped away and it's a machine underneath and stuff. I mean, it's an Alice, so split in that way, I should say. Not like separate pieces or something, though. Let's see, don't need... mecha, mecha. Here's another eyeball. Don't need arrows. Twitch on Safari on iPad is brutal. Oh, I'm sorry. Hopefully it's not something that's going on my end. Appreciate you being here. Escape. Don't need that. Macro, macro, macro. I forget there's all these nice, like, column macros. I should try this on the... something with a column sometime. That's one thing I'm excited about with GMK Abstract. All those novelties are going to look so good in the double XT column on the class 413. Woo! Request desktop site was the only way I could use chat. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've never used the mobile version of the Twitch website on the phone. I always use the app. Or I'll most often watch Twitch on my desktop computer while I'm working. So I can imagine that being a real pain in the ass. I think these are all, except this, those are all mecha. Which I don't think we'll mess with any mecha stuff today. So we got options. I think it might be fun to do a little eye action. Either here or on either end if we want to make it a real wide boy. Like this Piggy is not all that it seems. Love this enter. And then for our bottom row, I guess some of this is all... I can't have it both ways, can we? Got those are too big. Got those. Those, and these are also row 1. That's row 4. So these are options as well. Shift is going to be shift though, so we could go ahead and put that on. Chunky edges on this keyboard. Oh yeah, this is a favorite of mine. Actually, most of Jackie's designs use this same design language. So this is the piggy. There's also like the hippo and the elephant, and the height one. I don't actually know how that one was pronounced. It means dolphin, but that was a 40%. But they all have the same big old bezels on them, which are very fun. Turn that down a scoosh. I know it's kind of chill music, but I don't want it to get too loud. So, let me move these out of the way. This is going later than I thought. Not as quick. Not as quick this week. Oh! So let's see. Could do... So we got more orange over here if we want to balance that with some of the mods over here. Could do that. But I think I will go ahead and make our pipe and tilde into the monsters, into the eyes over here. So we will need our little backspace. And our stepped caps. So there's stepped caps. Here's our backspace. Nope, not that backspace. This backspace. We got that. So let's think. If we got... Might just keep these as... Well, since I am going to use this on a Mac, maybe we'll make the command keys be the exclamation points. It's always so tough when there's such good novelties and I don't know how I want to use them. Let's go with the orange spacebar. Although I didn't test the stab with this, so hopefully it's not warped. Okay, I think we're good. Alright, I'll put in the rest of the keys and then decide, based on the vibe, how we want to proceed. I always forget, though, how flexy this board is when I'm rebuilding it. Because, I mean, just that little bit of soft plate held between gaskets. Because when I've got, like, brand new switches and brand new keycaps and the tolerances are meeting for the first time. And I'm like, I'm trying to not break something. Or afraid that something is going to snap with just that little bit of plastic holding things together. But hasn't let me down yet. And this is a brand new plate as well, so I would hope that all is good. Come on, buddy. Yeah, these oranges are looking real good together. Shout out to my coworker Brian for really turning me on to theming switches with the keyboard build. And the satisfaction that it brings even if you're the only one who knows. What? A sub from Colin? Thank you. That means a ton. I really appreciate it. Thank you. 3 months. Incredible. I don't think I had an alert customized for that. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Thank you. Might need to beef up the spacebar a little bit, but I feel like that's often the way it is for me. Let's see, I do need to swap out scoops for bars here before I get to that point. No scoops here, thank you very much. FGHJ. JKL. Guess we could use something down here as well, as far as novelties go. Let's scoot these over so these can actually breathe a little bit. So a little shift. So we could definitely do a function. It's on the table. What? And a gifted sub? Thank you. Enjoy the tier 1 chopstick. Thank you so much, Colin. It means a lot. This is like the second stream where I've actually had anybody subbed. It's a lot of emotions I'm not used to. Get one, give one. That's a good philosophy. Now you get the little gifter leader. Yeah, and there are sub-level little icons too available. Little stars that will evolve as time goes on. That I had fun putting together. So now I gotta think. Now the tougher decisions. I think we may... Maybe we'll do this for function. And then do some more regular stuff on the bottom. Does that seem normal? Nice. Dancing. I should make a little dancing pixely guy. But for now, I've just got some little blockies looking around. Will this also be available on YouTube so you can watch from the beginning? It will be on YouTube. It'll also be available here on Twitch for 2 weeks. It's normally just a week, but now that I'm an affiliate, the VOD will stay up on Twitch for 2 weeks as well. But yeah, I also upload all of these to YouTube as well. After the fact, put in the timestamps and all that jazz. Make it a little bit more palatable. All of my past streams are also on YouTube. Including the ones I did of all the playing through Playdate Season 2. Okay, I gotta actually make a decision. I'm in decision paralysis with these bottom mods. Let's just do regular for now. No, nope, changed my mind already. I'm gonna move this down to the bottom. Just because I don't want to have too many novelties too close. It'd be nice to have a row separation. So we'll do a function here. And then maybe do like that. A little bit of symmetry. And to kind of balance out some of that orange, maybe do the oranges here. So then we'll need to do control here. And a control on this side. Let's see how that looks. Oh, that's not big enough. I put them away too soon. I grabbed the wrong ones. There is a big one in there, right? Or a wider one. Aha, that's the one I was looking for. So I just need the green version. We'll see how this flows. Oh, I missed a bunch of stuff. I watched some of the other YouTube videos, tried to get some likes there, I think. Oh, thank you. I honestly don't check in with YouTube very much. Thank you. Oh yeah, first match club. Ty is my name. I was like, wait till this. We put it just like Ty. We made it last, Tyler. Oh, that's funny. Kind of fun having like an alert stripe along the bottom. So then we'll probably want to go green. I don't know if that's orange overkill. Yeah, maybe let's go green. Let's do the little green Kaiju head. I'm going to keep some of these out in case I change my mind over the next couple of days. It's hard out here having a name that is also a text abbreviation. Yeah, that's true. Not something you ever run into with a name like Noah. Unless somebody is like thinking, they're like, no, which has happened. I'm like, huh? Or sometimes, this has happened more often actually, when there's like, I'm like ordering food someplace and it's kind of loud and they're like, hey, can I have a name for the order? And I say, Noah. And they think I'm just flat out refusing to give them a name. Like, can I have a name? No. Oh. And let me clarify. Clean up a little bit here. Oh, I also should show this off. I didn't have this last stream. I got a new little artisan hub. Oh, it's an artisan tray on the top. But then, I'll take these off. With our last few minutes here. This is the hub from DN Works. Which I haven't used as an... I mean, I've plugged it in to make sure that it works and everything. But I haven't used it as an actual hub quite yet. I need to figure out how to integrate it into the setup, because I've already got a CalDigit TS3 over here. But it's also a long time since I've used USB Type-B in something that wasn't a printer. But yeah, I'm excited to... So right now it's mostly for display with the Artisans, but I want to get this actually integrated and doing its hub thing. So, oh, I actually realized there's just a tiny bit of a flaw right there. That might have been my fault. But anyway. You accept donations? Yeah, I may have it doing its job displaying Artisans at the event in October. But it's nice because these are just kind of like sitting on an acrylic thing over on the side. And I was like, I would love to be able to have somewhere to show these off a little bit more without getting nuts with a giant artisan tray. Oops. So I'll need to figure out what all I want to plug into that and where to put it and stuff, with other hubs kind of in the mix already. Let me put these over here. Gotta put like a Pokemon card in the big tray or something? Hey, my kid just got a bunch of Pokemon cards for their birthday from a friend of mine who's big into Pokemon, and he like gave them a bunch of packs. Also some Lorcana cards. So I need to get in there and dig them up because they're not going to know. Anyway, let me pause this and see how this sounds. Let me turn this up a tiny bit. Do I need to turn that up? How's that coming through? Need to buy some new caps for my keyboard. Thanks again for the email reply. Now I just need to find some that I like to get them tried. That's one of the tough bits, is there's too many options, and knowing what you can actually get and what's actually in stock. Eventually get an entirely new keyboard to have an alternate. It's a slippery slope, my friend. I think I would like something a little bit beefier for the spacebar, but I mean, Pocket Obscura, right? I feel like that's a go-to for when you need a linear with a little more oomph. I am a big fan of the alphas. It's also interesting. I mean, I have built this board a couple of times now, but most recently it's had SA on it for a long time. And so, oh geez, come on. It's very different having cherry profile. Ah, there we go. Screw is one of the best space bars for sure. Keeps with the orange theme. That's true. Actually, I was thinking about the black ones, but I do have the Alex ones available. That actually would have been a great second choice. Just stylistically, like with the gray and orange. I need to touch up that right side a little bit later, but yeah, that is definitely... Yeah, these Laranjas do not want to come out to save their life. Ah, that's more like it for me. Well, art wasn't... Some of these alphas weren't down all the way. Some of that stem. New switches meeting new keycaps on a new plate. There we go. Wonder how many you will break when you pull them off. Well, this is their home now, and they can never leave this board again, I think is the lesson from today. Just need to make sure that everything is... Big fan. Yeah, these... I do like these a lot, the Laranjas. Tightness aside. I didn't love it as a spacebar, but I think the Obscura helps a whole lot. I might still play around with this bottom row a little bit as far as the keys go, and the arrangement, how I want the novelties to kind of play out. But yeah, I'm pleased with that. It'll be another fun build to have in October. That right, ring your it is well documented. I've talked about this many times that this finger does absolutely nothing when I'm typing. It's just like mind of its own. It's just like, yeah, just kind of, I don't know what it's doing. It's like reaching for this keyboard, reaching towards the heavens. I don't know. It doesn't pull its weight, that's for sure. But anyway, that is a good build that I'm happy with. Sweet. I think I'm a little bit over time. I need to tend to family stuff, and wipe the grease off my face. But I think that is a good place to end it. We'll be building the class 0413 next week. Yeah, randomly hot. Oh, I'm randomly hot? Oh, the weather, sure. We'll be rebuilding it's actually right here. Boop. We'll be rebuilding that next week, probably using the NK Classic Blues, and I'm going to change out the mid frame, and we're going to put Abstract on it, because it should be here by then, the new Key Machine set, and I think it's going to look really good. So that'll be fun. It's just kind of been chilling with PBS keycaps on it for a while, and I wanna mix it up with something a little bit more visually spicy. So we'll do that. I think that'll be a good time. I'm not gonna mess with rating today because I do gotta scoot, but thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for the subs. And I'll be back next week for more stuff. See ya.